Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 632. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinside,
Yo.
and Tony Korkanakis.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 632 of the Moviecast. We are live streaming on Twitch starting Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. Please join us. Fun times. Ask us comments, questions. Leave us comments and questions. Ask us questions. We are on YouTube the following day, so if you do miss these live streams, we are on YouTube the following day, so come and check us out there. You can subscribe. Smash that subscribe and the like button. Appreciate the new followers, everybody. Welcome. This is our closeout of the 2022 season, going into 2023. Obviously, this isn't the most anticipated episodes, so we'll be doing the movie cast, TV shows, and movies, and then the game cast of the games. It's more of a free form format. So I think I got 4 for each. You guys could have 5 if you want, 3 if you want. I mean, it's not vitally crazy, but we're going to talk about what we're really excited for coming in 2023. One of my games is just recently got delayed, so we're going to have to talk about that real quick. But I think the big thing before we get into that is we should talk about some of the latest news today, which was DC's announcement from James Gunn about the future of the DC universe, the chapters as he laid the roadmap of the 10-year plan. I think for me, what I like about this the most is a roadmap, like a definitive roadmap. You know what I mean? Like, did we get that before? Am I wrong?
Yeah,
we did get that.
We got it.
Okay,
we just haven't gotten anything from it.
They just didn't give it. Okay, I couldn't remember this kind of announcement from them where they give you like, here's the slate.
What do you call
I don't remember it anymore.
They've done that like multiple times, Jim.
Yeah, like Justice League Dark was on. Like they literally, it's not like fancy.
Block it out.
They just copy the Marvel timeline.
The Lantern stuff.
Yep.
Super. They were talking about having a Supergirl thing.
They really
Batgirl
needed
canceled.
They really needed like an infographic to go along with that, because I was like, wait, what? Like when is happening? What is happening?
Where is it happening?
He wanted it to be look a little bit more casual as he's doing this. So it was great to hear what their plans are. Mike, I got to ask you, I know we may have had take 2 on this, but your feelings of the use of chapters instead of phases?
Again, I mean, he can't say phase. That's the Marvel's thing. Everyone overuses it, and I don't like it as a word, but it's fine because I feel like it's sort of mechanical and corporate, and that's how I kind of feel about the MCU at this point.
And I wouldn't call MCU mechanical and corporate, but I do understand your terminology of the phases as more of a business kind of, when they move into planning.
It's like supervillains plan. They plan phases. Supervillains.
Are you calling Marvel? Are you calling Marvel a supervillain?
I don't understand, because like comics are bundled in issues and become part of collections or volumes. So
sure, that's
really weird.
Yeah, that's like books and stuff. Yeah, that's fine.
Anyways,
but a phase is like a big corporation's plan to take over something.
Not take over. I have phases at work. I'm planning on different phases right now for like upgrade projects.
You have phases of a hostile takeover.
Okay, you could look at it negatively. I'm looking at it like I'm in phase 2 of my actual technology enhancements at my school. I'm not taking over the world. But anyways. Let's go into these announcements, folks. So it sounds.
He wants you to believe.
It sounds like what we're getting is kind of a merger / reboot on certain things.
We're getting a tissue soft reboot, I would say, where really just you have an excuse to recast a few people. But for the most part, it seems like, at least it all depends on Flash, and apparently that is not getting recasted right away or at all.
I don't know I don't know what the plan is for that, because I really thought that would be the one role without a doubt that gets recast.
Rock that boat. I mean, Warner Brothers execs have shown their asses on. They don't want to rock that boat before the movie comes out. After the movie, we'll see how it does. Finding. I mean, if the Flash is a flop, they're not gonna go back and hire Ezra. They're absolutely not.
Yeah.
Just like they dropped, Dwayne Johnson with Black Adam.
Yeah, I mean,
don't let the door hit you.
Yeah, this seems like it's pick and choose. So Gal Gadot probably still in then, because I heard she's in Shazam.
They didn't.
Yeah,
they didn't explicitly state one way or another. They just said it was like open. Right. Maybe not named was open, which I mean, it makes sense. We talked about that back in the day. That it's like you get rid of the things that don't work, you bring stuff that does work, or hopefully will work, and go from there. I wanted a full just total 100%.
Yeah, rip it all out. Just start
this
fresh.
This feels like it's weird.
Well, I will say that
he
has
to me because he is sort of he's staying within the verse. Especially the biggest example for me is Waller, which is Waller. If you paid attention to the DCEU into this time, is pretty much the most consistent character throughout everything, almost like the Coulson of this universe.
Yeah,
evil
and
Coulson.
sort of focus on her means like, all right, we're going to really sort of continue what was there. Not to mention it's tied in directly to I have now finished watching Peacemaker, his show, and she features somewhat prominently along with the very much the proper old DCEU in there as well.
Do you find it funny that old DCEU is still there now? Sounds like we're getting Aquaman. No. It sounds like we're getting.
All that stuff is still happening. Like Aquaman's happening, Shazam's happening, Flash is happening. Those movies are still coming out. They spend a lot of money on them.
I'm fine with that. I again on my whole I've been banging the drum for take what you have and build on and make it better, not just forget about it and
Yeah.
But since he is doing that, it makes his dismissal of Cavill more egregious, in my opinion. Because
it wasn't his dismissal. He even stated it in his thing.
Yes, it did. No, he didn't fire him. He just is like, I want to do something else. With
he
Superman.
didn't fire him. He said he was never hired. That was an empty promise made by The Rock and his movie production team.
I mean, he was there. He was signed on. He was willing, and he showed up as Superman. It's not an empty promise.
That movie. For that movie. That's what he did.
That was being reported on. It sounds like that was accurate now. Is that the Rock's crew basically just did what they went willy nilly and just did what they wanted, and they called him in. They convinced him to come in.
Okay, that's fine. But if you're going to continue everything else, why not him? Because you don't.
We've been through this a million times.
But you're not.
This has new context where he's not throwing everything out. He's keeping a lot of stuff. So
yeah, they're getting new Batmans and new Supermans. So that's what we're getting.
You're getting maybe one new Batman to. And by the way, also they said the other guy said, "Oh, we're not going to have a bunch of Batman." Yes, you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this whole thing. Some of it I like, but mostly it seems like another half measure, and
we'll go through real quick.
It doesn't make sense to me based on what they've done so far.
Sorry, I don't have it open still.
The first thing I think they said was there's going to be a cartoon that was already in production. Creatures.
He wrote that. Creature Commandos. Yeah. He wrote that, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, that's apparently classic monsters assembled to fight Nazis.
Yeah,
but a modern take on the concept.
It looks neat.
Yeah, and then we get a Waller spin-off of Peacemaker
Suicide Squad,
Viola Davis. Yep. So that's pretty good.
It's HBO Max.
Yep, HBO Max. Being written by Crystal Henry Watchman, and the Doom Patrol guy, creator of it, Jeremy Carver. And then you get Superman Legacy, the movie featuring the Man of Steel that Gunn is writing and may direct, although no commitments have been made. While the two previous
no casting
yet. It's not an origin story. It focuses on Superman balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing.
And he somehow thinks that's coming out in 2 years and change.
Yep.
We'll see. Yeah. I love the next announcement, Lanterns. Green Lantern's TV series has been scrapped.
Hold on.
What?
Hold up. It's going really fast. Superman Legacy. So the important thing here is he outright said it's not an origin story. So it's going to focus on.
I said that.
I guess. Okay.
I just went through that. It focuses on the balance of Superman balancing his Kryptonian heritage.
But he's going. Okay. He's going to try to embody the truth. The truth, justice, in the American way.
Did I freeze?
No.
Great.
The live stream might be a little bit wonky, but we're good here on audio. Just live stream. The main thing is, I think he wants to try to make a Superman hero instead of
instead of whatever we fucking got beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Since his last appearance, and they just to throw it all away seems like a big misstep in my opinion.
Yeah.
Could be.
So.
Guess we'll see. Guess we'll find out in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you
gotta give Gunn
can't prove a
the
negative.
doubt,
You
though.
can't compare it to something that's not happening, so it's hard to say. But we'll see, I guess.
I mean, if the new Superman is successful, I think you could argue that it worked out.
You don't know if the other one would have worked more, though.
I'm not saying it wouldn't have worked out more. I'm just saying if this one is successful, you can't really argue that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sorry, I've been fixing our stream. I apologize for the technical difficulties on Twitch today, but it's running.
Maybe it's a Twitch issue. I don't know.
I think it's an OBS issue. For those wondering how we do this, we do film it on. We do have OBS, and I keep when I switch windows, we lock up, so I can't read you guys the news. So we're gonna go. You guys are gonna have to take this over. I'll participate, but if I switch windows, I have a problem.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah. So, anyways, we are back on Twitch. For those wondering, sorry. The audio version, you guys are good. We're gonna continue this on, but I do apologize I wasn't participating there. So I'm excited for this, and I will say that mixing into what I've been watching, I watched Superman Returns, and not a good movie. Not a good movie.
Why would you just waste 2 hours of your life?
It was more.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad. And it was like I don't know what it is. I got on.
You don't have anything you could be doing.
Do you want me to
2 hours right now?
No. Do you want me to explain?
There's your. Okay. Here's the thing about Superman Returns. At this point, especially if you're down on Cavill's Superman, you probably found him a bit refreshing.
Ralph, this movie with I will say that this movie, just the beginning of it, there was nothing like that in any of the Superman movies we watched with Henry Cavill. Him rescuing Lois on that plane, that feeling with the crowd cheering and chanting and the hope that he gave, there was nothing like that in the DCEU at all. And while that movie was not good, nothing existed in the later movies like that. And that was the epitome of Superman, in my opinion. That beginning.
The thing about Superman Returns is there's no real fight scene in that movie at all. So the gross overcorrection of that is a Man of Steel. In reality, I think Superman should be somewhere in between the two. And also, we don't need that weird super bastard storyline that happened in Returns. That was weird. Didn't like that.
Yeah, that was weird. But yeah, so anyways, more stuff on the announcements. We have Legacy, then we move on to, what was next?
Lanterns,
which is...
Well, or is it called Lanterns or Lantern?
Lanterns.
Yeah, Lanterns.
Yeah.
TV show.
TV show. More kind of, they're trying to do like a True Detective like feel to this in space, which kind of sounds interesting, I suppose. And you can make.
Did they say they were going to be on Earth with that though? They said like terrestrial, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly yet. So like, it seems like they want to kind of take some ideas from what was there, but make it their own thing as well. So
cool.
It'll be interesting to see.
It's going to feature Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart.
Yeah, and that's a cool mix, I guess. I mean, Jon Stewart, that's like my favorite Lantern that I've seen. I know a lot of people like the Guy Gardner one, but
they do.
I don't think they do.
I have no idea.
No one likes Guy Gardner. It's pretty much Jon Stewart or
Hal Jordan's already been
Jordan.
made. I like the Jon Stewart one, but I thought like Guy Gardner people liked a lot. Maybe I was backwards on that.
No, Hal is kind of like the first main one.
Yeah, I know that, but I always liked the Jon Stewart one just because of the Justice League cartoon.
Because of the card, yeah.
I mean, that really got me into that. What a great character. So following that, now that I have my phone up and running with this, The Authority, movie based on a team of superheroes. This one's, interesting actually. It's not like it's not a story of like heroes and villains. It's like not good versus evil, but it's like a team of these heroes. I don't know.
This sounds to me like just like Suicide Squad Junior.
Sort of. Yeah,
it's like
a
movie based on team of superheroes with extreme methods of protecting the planet. And it's like, okay, like
a lot of this, honestly, for his detractors, a lot of this does sound very James Gunny so far. I don't know. I mean, you know what I mean? Like there's that other the what was it? The Supernaturals. What was that one called? And then we hear the next thing, Booster Gold, which seems maybe the James Gunniest of James Gunn premises coming up. But
Yeah, I mean we'll get into that. Let's see, Paradise Lost, which is Themyscira, like an HBO Game of Thrones style drama. Interesting.
Yeah.
That kind of seems out there.
That is so weird. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And again, it's hard to imagine something that's new and just kind of like out there, and which I think we can all agree this is like, let's give people something they don't even know what they want. And it's like, okay, great, surprising. But then it's like political Game of Thrones on Themyscira, like
scheming and power plays between these women.
I guess that could be cool, but it's just hard to imagine because like there's no basis, at least that I know of, and I'm not like a Wonder Woman comic reader. I don't know of any basis on that from like the storylines.
I mean, it seems like they have like this strong sisterhood of like empowering each other, and yet you're gonna have this
like stab in the back and stuff like that.
Yeah, so
power is a ladder, or whatever.
We'll see. Yeah,
you know? I don't know. It's weird.
Following that is The Brave and the Bold, introduction of DCU Batman. Battinson is going to be on his own universe, which they mentioned was going to have its own titles. Anything that's not like the Joker is in his own thing, and it's going to be, I forget what he used as the term. Elseworlds. Thank you. They'll be properly titled so people know that they're not part of the main DCU. So the movie will take inspiration from the now classic Batman run written by Grant Morrison that introduced Batman to a son he never knew existed. So Damian Wayne is Robin in this. So interesting. Starting with the Batman
storyline. So
yeah.
I mean,
it's weird to me. It's starting pretty late in Batman's history for a reboot, essentially. And Damian Wayne, I don't know. Like, does anyone care about him anymore? I feel like
Robin.
People like him, but I don't know 100%.
It's a good story, though. I think that's what you can kind of hang your hat on here is that the storyline is good, and so if they can adapt that well into a movie, that'd be great. And you have a younger Batman with your patents and stuff, so you can get them. You get best of both worlds, I guess.
Yeah.
Look, on one what do I want to say here? On the one hand, I appreciate the fact that we can get past or out of the like year one Batman because like I just think it's been overdone to death. In terms of
you're just gonna get Batman in his. You should get Batman in his prime, essentially, right here.
Right.
Yeah.
And like we could have gotten that with Batfleck. We never did, but whatever. But
he was already older in that. So
right. Yeah. But just to skip this far ahead, where it's like, oh, it's Damian. So like,
it's like the fourth Robin.
Right. And so the thing is, again, I've only read a couple comics that involve Damian, but my understanding is that people enjoyed the Damian playing off of Nightwing or Dick more than like the Batman and Damian aspect.
So I wonder if we get that.
So are we getting
Nightwing part of it?
Right off the bat? Like, because I think if you don't include Nightwing,
I think you have to.
I think it's a mistake, right?
I think if you have Robin Damian in this, you have to have the previous Robin or Robins, in this, so it could be interesting.
My idea, or at least I sort of picture it as this is a post Robin Batman, where Nightwing might return when this happens to like show up a little bit, but there won't be a Robin he's taking the place of.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Yeah. Then we got the Batman sequel with Pattinson, obviously, coming October 3rd, 2025. Being titled right now Batman Part 2. The Batman.
I don't understand how they plan on doing. Like, that's not even filming yet, right?
Yeah. Oh wait, is it filming? It's finished. No, they just finished the script. Didn't they just finish the script?
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought he was still writing it.
I thought he just finished it, but because he just met with them about this, so I don't think they're filming.
Because we didn't know it was happening yet.
He needed approval.
That's another thing.
Yeah, he needed approval.
They didn't even say.
Yeah, so he had to meet with them to continue his Batman series. So I guess that went well.
Everything seems to be getting fast tracked, is what's going on here.
Yeah, but I mean that movie, it needs that sequel by then. It really does. I mean,
I would agree, but like you've just been spinning your wheels. Like they should have been already in production, like last year. So
you got a Booster Gold HBO Max series, as Mike mentioned. People love Booster Gold, don't they? I don't, but people do. Yeah.
It's more comedic, lighthearted
joke character.
Because I mean, it's kind of funny because like it's like about a dude from the future who uses like basic future technology to be a hero in the modern day. Which, like, if you think about it, that's like any one of us going back like 1,000 years,
Mm-hmm.
being like, oh yeah, here's
And
medicine, and
I just, I did what I meant before is like I just picture this character like basically everyone hates him, makes fun of him, but then he's like secretly really sad, even though he's like a goofball, and I'm just like, oh, it's Peacemaker, it's Chris Pratt, it's it's gonna be very much in line with those.
That's what I said in Discord. I kind of like view Chris Pratt as playing this character.
Yeah. Same. Peter Quill. There we go.
Could be.
Forgot his
name.
It's
a very similar idea. All right. We have Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, movie coming out. Different take on Supergirl. More about the what if you got Superman in his great upbringing if someone didn't have that. So
we have evil Supergirl.
She's not evil. She's just got a chip on her shoulder.
Oh, she's Black Adam Supergirl. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. The description says Supergirl raised on a rock, a chip on Krypton, who watched everyone around her die and be killed in terrible ways for the first 14 years of her life.
Yeah, so she's got the darkness to her. Yeah. Much more hardcore and not the Supergirl we're used to.
Listen, and not the Supergirl actress from The Flash, I would assume.
I mean, he mentioned in his statement that The Flash is going to reboot the DCU. That's he straight up said it.
He also mentioned something else in that statement about The Flash, which
the weird part is that
hard to believe.
He said following that Aquaman 2 will be released, and I'm just like, are you just saying that, or?
It's all been on the schedule.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and then they're gonna finish the first chapter with Swamp Thing. A horror film to close it out. Interesting. People love the Swamp Thing. I love the series back in the old USA days. USA Network.
Yeah. I remember watching that.
Yeah.
That did
not age well.
A couple years ago.
They did do something like
critics.
that. Yeah.
Like they just didn't have any viewers.
No, they didn't. And then that's the thing that always happens with Swamp Thing. Like, is there enough of an audience for it?
So, like DC's MO.
Yeah. It is the original DCMO right there. Swamp Thing was always never had enough viewers. It was a great show, that USA one, but it got canceled in like a season because just nobody watched it.
I'll be honest, like when I was younger, I didn't even know something was a comic character. I just thought it was like that whatever TV show. I was like, movie, right? But like I didn't know it was I was like, oh, it's a comic book character. Okay.
Yeah. So all right. And that closes out the upcoming slate.
I just want to mention, he does say that The Flash was one of the greatest superhero movies.
I mean, what's he supposed to say? It's crap?
Seriously?
Well, I know,
he didn't say that about any other movie.
Yeah. He didn't say Aquaman 2 is the greatest Superman movie ever.
He said Shazam is super fun. I think.
Well, if he says something is super fun, it almost sounds like it's bad.
What's he going to do? Say it's bad?
No, he can't.
Well, no, I know, but I'm just saying, like, you don't have to come out and claim it's going to be one of the greatest superhero movies of all time.
Yeah.
Well, I think you kind of do, because like that's where the marketing cycle is going to start next. Like, they could have done.
Hang your head on it, then. If you're starting to you're taking over something new and it's not yours.
Isn't there a trailer? Isn't the trailer supposed to be on Super Bowl for this?
We'll see.
That's why he needed to announce this now.
That's my approach on this.
Yeah.
My whole approach is we'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
I don't think it's good they have something, but like I look at that and I'm just I wanted them to just rip the Band-Aid. And
I don't disagree with you, Tony, but I guess listen, I do trust his vision. Like, it's different and it's been working.
Yeah, I mean,
so I do trust
him. Like he does good work, but you know the thing to me is like this wish-washy, unclear message of like, oh, well, like we're not definitely recasting Wonder Woman and Aquaman, but we're not recasting. Right. So it's like, okay, so they just outline their plans until the end of 2025. So like what? The next time we would see Wonder Woman or Aquaman, outside Aquaman 2 would be what, 2026? Like that is so weird that you're hanging on to these characters that could be more than a decade now. Yeah. Since they started their roles. And it's just like
well, it doesn't mean they don't appear in other movies though. We don't know.
Maybe, but like I'm just saying based off of the information we have now. I mean, most likely I would assume she would appear in the Themyscira Game of Thrones series, but we don't know that, right?
Well, I would wonder if she's going to show up in Legacy, Superman Legacy. But
who knows? Yeah. I'm literally just reading the snippets and being like, okay.
Or does she show up in Brave and the Bold? Because she could do that. There's a history there.
I mean, Jim, she could show up in anything. I'm just saying, based on the information, the summaries, the snippets we have, Aquaman and Wonder Woman never showed up in any of those things. So I can only speculate based on that information, which is subject to change as soon as they reveal otherwise, that having these legacy characters that have been these roles now, like not until 2026 at the earliest, like that's weird. That's really weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
All right, guys. Let's move on from the news here and let's get into our most anticipated. Because we got some stuff to list here. We got TV shows and movies. Folks, there's a lot of good stuff coming this year. So if we don't list it here, it's going to be funny because I went back and I just listened to the beginning of our anticipated last year and I said it had Halo on my anticipated list. Did we know that?
I don't know why.
I don't know why either, but I did it. So I kept my list a lot more standard this year for TV shows. So if we do TV first here, my number 4, I put Cobra Kai, the finale. Finally, it should be on my list. I'm super excited for the finale of the show. Tony, I think you said it best on Discord. The show has a great run, but you don't want it to overstay its welcome. Well, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's due. It's ready to be closed out. I'm excited for this last chapter myself. I can't wait to see it this year. So that's my number 4. Corey, what do you have? Do you have any, like, how many? 4 or 5?
I didn't have that many for TV. Like, I think the problem was Last of Us is one of my most anticipated shows of this year, but it's already started.
It's going. Yeah.
I will say,
last episode.
This last episode is gonna win a ton of awards. A ton of awards. It's amazing.
Thoroughly enjoyed. Like, it was a great episode. Great episode.
I think that, like, just to real quickly, this show is deviating enough to make it, like, worth watching if you've not played the games.
Yeah, this legitimately, Tony. This was this is an award-winning episode. I know.
I've been hearing really good things about this last particular episode. So
but yeah, so Last of Us was on there. I didn't have anything rankings or anything like that.
Okay, good. I mean, I did rank them, but I just wasn't sure what you guys did. Mike, what do you got on yours?
I think I only have 3 each.
Go ahead, give me your 3 then. Give me number 3 here. What do you got?
My number 3 is really only number 3 because I'm not sure if it's gonna really happen, but X-Men 97 is still supposed to happen this year.
It'll happen. You'll get it.
And
they're very good about it. They're very good about not giving us much information until like 2 months before. They're really good at that. Yeah.
I just, a continuation basically right from the end of the old cartoon series. That's why it's 97. I've been waiting, and I think most of the surviving, unfortunately, only cast because the guy who was Cyclops sadly passed away. But I think most of the cast is coming back, and I just want to. It sounds like we lost our chance with the Tim Batman one that they were going to do on the other side. So hopefully we get it with this one. I'm curious about it, and I'd love to go back to that like style of a cartoon. And obviously, I think they would know enough that most of their audience is in their like 30s and early 40s, and might age it up, but not in the weird way that that Young Justice did, where it just felt awkward. So we'll see. It could go wrong like that, but I'm very curious about what it ends up being.
All right. Tony, give me one here.
Let's see. One of these is going to be premiering on Disney Plus called American Born Chinese, which is based on a older graphic novel by the same name. The reason I'm interested in this is because it's starring Michelle Yeoh and Ke Huy Quan, which
how have I missed this news? I don't even. You're introducing this to me right now. I missed it.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's been announced and stuff like that. Yeah. But I think it got more attention, obviously, because both of them and the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once will be getting a lot of traction. So them coming together for another series, for something else on film, like that's awesome. Really excites me to see them in a just a different role. And just the premise is Jim Wang struggling with his high school life and home life, meets a new foreign exchange student at his school, leading him to become involved in a battle between gods of Chinese mythology. So, action comedy apparently. So that's a genre that's mostly unexplored. So looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. All right, I have next one I have on my list is Ted Lasso.
Yes, that is also on my list.
Yeah. That is. I can't wait. I mean, a show that
show is so good. I really like that show.
I can't anytime. Like, it's funny because I won't mention it for a while, and then the second Nick was at my house, and I was just like, dude. He's like, I was get into watching this stuff. I'm like, you gotta watch Apple TV, and I'm like, it's Ted Lasso. It's like incredible, that show. I can't say it enough to people. Like, it's an incredible show, and it's amazing because it's such a feel good show. Like there's
It is a feel good show.
It's unbelievable how they just pull
even
it
in
off.
its like moments.
Yeah.
I mean, it has those moments of like,
sure, but you have to have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they pull it off to make it be like a really good feel good, like, but not overly, like, you don't get like overwhelmed with it all. You just like you're rooting for everything.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm getting like a sweet tooth, like a
no. Yes, you're not getting
habit. Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
I just can't wait for season 3. There's no announcement of even if it is coming this year, but I assume it's coming this year. Because
I thought it was this spring. That's what I was when I was researching.
So I mean, that's the rumors, but we haven't gotten an official announcement. I know that's done. They filmed it, so
yeah.
I know that they had a crossover with FIFA, so they have it. It exists, but I'm excited. I don't know, Corey. What's another one for you?
Secret Invasion. I want to see.
Yeah.
See what this is all about.
I
don't really know much about it, but we've been getting teases for it for a while, and Sam L. Jackson hasn't been on the Marvel screen as Nick Fury in a while, so looking forward to seeing what they do, and the storyline's very interesting. So
yeah,
curious about it at least.
Yeah, I mean that looks interesting for the Skrulls. It's gonna be interesting to see how this works. We know a little bit about them.
The Marvel universe overall here.
The last time we saw the Skrulls, though, they weren't really all bad. So how are we going to do the Secret Invasion here? Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. Mike, what do you got? Another one?
Not all good either. So
I mean, my top 2 are kind of obvious with TV, at least. I'm looking forward to the second half of Doom Patrol, even though I didn't watch the first half yet. I'm waiting on that one. Doom Patrol has been, obviously, this is going to wrap up the show, 4 seasons, which is not too bad, all things considered, when, it was a little questionable even from the first season if there'd be any more of both this show and Titans. These started back on, DC Universe. But yeah, Doom Patrol is just, when it's just been quirky and weird, and it was like before everyone else realized Brendan Fraser was back. We did when we were watching Doom Patrol, because he does a good job, mostly voicing, although he does show up in person in some weird sequences every now and then as oh god, I forgot his name. Cliff is the guy's name, but like the robot guy, I don't even know what
Brendan
his
Fraser?
actual. Yeah.
No, he's been nailing it. He's been great.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard. Is it true? There's a Mummy appearance, like another Super Bowl commercial coming up here. Like I've heard there's a rumor with him reprising. I've heard it. Not sure if this is true, but I know he recently said he would be down for doing another Mummy movie, and I'm all for it.
But yeah, no, Doom Patrol is trippy, interesting, sort of alternative like thing. It's funny considering that this was the precursor almost to X-Men. X-Men was kind of like the Marvel ripoff of DC's Doom Patrol. So it's funny to see the roots there, but I just want to see how it ends, and I think they know it's ending. I hope they did when they wrote this, so it should be good.
Yeah, they had time. So, Tony, give me another one here.
Let's see. You already mentioned Cobra Kai. So I'll just reiterate, I think with the last season, I still enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, but you could start to see like the cracks where it's like, okay, like how many times can we really like
recycle this one?
Fate of the Valley over karate dojos. This is like, come on, it's getting a little silly and stuff like that. So I think it's fine to, end it, and because I say, like always, like I'd rather end something where I'm just wanting a little bit more than like you stretch it out. I'm just like, yeah, I'm ready for this to be done now.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather have
end
first few
on the right terms. Yeah.
Right, exactly. That's how they got. But I guess if let me name something else. So
go ahead.
One of the other things, it's anime, but the Gundam series, Witch of Mercury. So the way anime airs, it's in cours. So like they aired 13 episodes from the actual real life season, and then later this year they're airing the second season. And the first one left on kind of a cliffhanger and like obviously a dramatic moment for a bunch of the characters and stuff like that. So really got kicked up a notch and wanting to see where that goes in the next season.
Cool. Cool. All right, another one on my list, Severance.
Well, that's my number one too.
Not my number one,
Or not
but
my one. My number one though.
yeah. But okay. Well, I mean, obviously, I think
If I was gonna rank them.
of the years, yeah, if I was gonna rank them of the years, I think Severance is number 2 for me, and it's only lost to a Star Wars show, and it unfortunately lost again to one, but I'll get into that in a minute. But Severance was my number 2, and I just can't wait to the continuation of that a crazy ending, crazy lost story / The Office mix.
Yeah, it's like the mystery of it all and how it unravels, and you learn a lot, but then you don't learn anything, and you're still left with more questions than answers. It's like
amazing.
So as long as it
plot
can
twist,
continue
yeah.
that going and like keep you interested, that's why like anticipated wise, that's why it's the most interesting to me is because of the
Just the
mysteries
mystery.
that were left. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the things that can be revealed, and then also potentially questions that can be asked again.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
yeah,
I mean,
no,
you know,
it's very like heady, and you know, it always you kind of like scratch your head when you're it's like, what did I just watch? Like, what is this?
yeah,
What's happening right now?
yeah.
So
I'm
but
everything that happens. You're like, what the? I want to see more. Mike, what was your last one you had?
Well, I actually did forget something, which would probably be fourth, which probably sounds like you're going to talk about. But for me, it's Titans. I would say Doom Patrol of the two is the better like quality show, but I'm just more, invested in Titans just because I still like the slightly more straightforward storytelling in it.
Mhm.
And obviously the recognizable characters. And yeah, I saw the first half. I mentioned it before last year, and I just want to see how it ends and how they wrap it up with all these characters.
Yeah.
This alternative future version of
again, hopefully they can
DC
do it
universe.
like Tony's saying, get it out, get it done with on a high note and not leave you
Yep.
hanging. So
Yeah.
Yep.
cool.
All right, Tony.
I assume you're gonna be talking about this in a moment, but
I don't think you are. But,
Really? Okay.
I mean, if you're, I mean, if it's Ahsoka, yes. If it's
Yes, it is
Mandalorian,
Ahsoka.
if it's
I was gonna say,
Mandalorian, you're
I'm-
wrong.
You guys have to say Ahsoka. Like,
It
what
is
happening?
Ahsoka because
I thought you were Mandalorian. I'm like, I don't think
fucking
so.
blame Andor for this. I fucking blame Andor for this
Yeah.
because it actually like made me, a bit more like happy with the Star Wars universe and stuff like that. And just thinking about it, with Ahsoka being a Fellini baby essentially, and this being a show dedicated to her, I'm like, well, they wouldn't fuck this up, right?
I know, but I'm so nervous about it. Like,
I'm obviously
yeah.
absolutely nervous too.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm gonna watch it because I have to.
I just, I can't wait for that. I mean, it's, it's,
Yeah.
So I got it everywhere.
I knew it had to be your number one.
Yeah. I don't know if Mike thought Mandalorian, or I didn't know if you guys thought Mandalorian.
Yeah,
but,
that would be my fourth one.
yeah.
Mandalorian.
No,
It's just
I mean, Mandalorian's fine. There's nothing
I'm
wrong with
interested in
Mandalorian.
it, but I sort of worry the next like season will be like, all right, that's enough of this.
Yeah, see, like
I
Ahsoka has
do
a
get that
chance.
feeling a little bit.
Ahsoka has a chance to continue this amazing character, and my worry is that the transition to live action in a full series, it doesn't work. That's my worry.
I don't think my worry is not the live
That's
action.
that's
My
my
worry is the book. That's my worry.
Oh my god, that was horrible. Oh, I blocked
Oh,
that
yeah, it's
out.
based off of the book.
No,
It's not based on the
But,
book.
but there's
That-
pre-
that-
So
yeah.
sucks.
my worry is that they had a chance to tell an Ahsoka story on her own, and they fucked it up. So I don't have any faith that they can do it like a better job here. Especially since we haven't really had we have outliers with some of the Boba
right.
Fett. No,
Fellini's involved in this, I thought, right?
he is. Yeah, 100%.
so I mean that's hope. I'm hopeful, but as far as what I'm expecting, Kenobi, no. So it's just I can't be hopeful. I can't be anticipating it. I'll watch
I believe,
later, but
I believe Filoni and Favreau are both attached to this.
I've been saying Filoni. But the thing is, in my eyes, I always thought that Star Wars, one of its great aspects was, that had so much media around it. But I think one of the faults of it is that, the, Lucas Arts or Lucasfilm, whatever you want to call the parent company, was always afraid to commit to those tertiary and secondary products as being we can't mess with the canon. It can't be canon to mess with things and stuff like that. So it always felt you'll see this character X does Y thing and it's badass and it's awesome. And it's okay, well, is it canon anymore? Who knows? Whatever. So I think the Ahsoka book was kind of the same thing, where it's like, okay, I mean, they released an official Ahsoka book, but really, like, it'd just be like, oh, whatever, that was a alternate story, or whatever.
It can do that now for sure. Yeah.
Right. So like, if it's in my opinion now, if it's a movie or a TV series, then you got it. But anything else is okay. It's a thing and exists to make money, and that's how I view it.
Yeah. All right. So that was all number. Corey, what was your other one? Did you have another one?
I didn't have a specific one, no.
Okay. I know you said Severance and Ahsoka, and okay. All right. So, all right, that's the TV stuff. Movies, guys. There's some great stuff coming this year. This was hard, actually, to make just a top. I did a top 4 for myself. Strangely enough, number 1 surprised me when I ranked them. But number 4 was, and I'm sure this is on other people's list, Dune, Part 2. I
have to watch the first one.
I know, man. I mean, Tony, it's amazing that you can have a visually impressive movie like this, not overly action packed, and be like just awesome. Like, it's just so well mixed. It's so good. Like, it's just a perfect balance of.
I'm a little upset that you didn't get to see it in the theater.
I know, and this will be a movie. Yeah, this will be. I didn't see it in the theaters, but I enjoyed it here enough to the point where this has to be a movie watch for me in the theaters. So because the sound
design is amazing.
The sound was just. I mean, the visual was great on my TV, but I wasn't getting that. I knew there had to be those bass things, those bumps you don't get. Yeah. So I'm just like, I'm so psyched for this. Corey, I mean, what was that's on your list, I would assume, right? You said
possibly
higher up. All right. What was the one for you? What do you have on your lower part?
My lower part, John Wick 4.
Yeah, it didn't make it for me.
It just missed my list.
That's it.
It just missed my list, and go on. You go first.
I mean, yeah, just John Wick 4 is a guy. I love the John Wick stuff and what they've been doing with it, and just the universe they built around the character, and it's just more John Wick, and you're bringing in these classic action heroes from the past, and seeing like those. We got Mark Dacascos last movie. We're getting Donnie Yen in this film. It's like you're getting these great martial arts
all-time
actors
action
and
movie
stuntmen, even the stunt people, and just how realistic they make it, and just the action. We haven't seen that kind of action on film before, and now they're just going even more into it, and so. I'm just so excited for what John Wick.
But avoiding the escalation that Fast and Furious did, where it just got too ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they're so far they're avoiding that issue.
I hope it doesn't. I hope it stays relatively grounded. Like, I don't want it to escalate into like, suddenly he's like falling out of a like an Uncharted sequence, or he's falling out of a plane and shooting dudes. It's like,
I mean, he fell off the roof of a high-rise building, so there is some superhero elements to
like
it.
But like, I don't want him.
But it's not. He's not jumping off a car that's going between two towers and like drifting through or whatever.
I watched a video.
It's not as unrealistic. It definitely still has some groundedness to it. So
all right, sure. Mike, give me one of your movies.
All right, so just because I anticipate that a movie doesn't mean I think it's going to be good. That they all could be bad, but so as far as anticipation, I'm mostly sort of out on the MCU, but I do want to see some stories, wrapped up that have been invested in, and
it's coming up.
That's why my third one is Guardians 3. I just want to see what we do to close that out, and that's important because that was one of the big surprises, sort of the darlings of like the earlier part of the MCU, this team of nobodies, and we'll see how it goes. And once again, I'm just looking to see how it ends, just like in the TV section.
It's gonna be interesting. So, all right, Tony.
Let's see. Lowest is actually going to be the one coming out soon. Is Ant-Man and the Wasp? In Quantumania.
Kang.
For me, I always like the Ant-Man. Like, I don't think it's like a solid A tier kind of thing, but it's like a very good B tier, like just hey, whatever is like, it's going to be a relatively mid-sized budget. It's not, going to be completely mind-blowing, but have a lot of original comedic elements and stuff like that. But with this one, I'm really excited because I do like the Kang character. I love what we saw of him from Loki. I mean, dude's last line before he got killed was "See you soon." It's like that's kind of like ominous to me. Like
this guy saying that this Kang is nothing like
nothing
like Loki's Kang. He's like, I
Right.
did this
Well,
on
they are
purpose.
different people,
Yeah,
yeah,
he wanted complete. He took a completely different way. He said he wanted completely different.
Well, they're all the kings are different.
Yeah, that's what's so cool. Like, I'm psyched to see this.
Right. So we're getting, what, Kang the Dictator, or the Tyrant, or whatever they call him, Conqueror, Kang the Conqueror. That's it.
All of the above, maybe.
All the above. But yeah, just seeing James Rudd, who I think is a great actor.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd?
Paul
Paul Rudd. Sorry, I'm getting my names twisted today. Paul Rudd. But just seeing him in a role that, the story sounds like it's going to be a bit more serious than past Ant-Man movies have. Has me really intrigued, and I think, like
I don't think everybody gets out of this one.
I don't think everybody gets out of this one.
No.
We'll get into about. I think we might see, kind of like how I envisioned, years ago before Avengers: Infinity War with Thanos, because we hadn't seen him actually do anything. I was like, I hope he just shows up and just like fucking murders somebody, and that's exactly what he did. And he just like bodies Hulk and Thor and just straight up murders Loki. I was like, oh shit, like that's how you set the tone for a new villain. So I feel like we're gonna get this with Kang.
All right, interesting. Yeah, my number 3 was the Marvel Universe. I went to Guardians as well, Mike, for my number 3.
Okay.
It's the swan song, like you said. It's the ending for James Gunn for the MCU. So it's his final MCU movie. And with him working on DC, it's a long time. We won't see him back, and I feel like he's gonna go out with a massive bang. And it's like, again, back to character deaths, multiple probably, and I believe. It's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting, and it's also gonna be sad.
Get those tissues out.
Yeah. So I expect it, and a great soundtrack. I can't wait for that soundtrack. So that was my number 3. Corey, what was yours? Give me another one.
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. Unfortunately, it's gonna be part 1.
Little Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise. I mean, the Mission Impossible movies, man, they have been on fire. Like every single one of them since the second movie.
Was it two or 3 that was bad? Was
Two
was bad.
Which was weird because 2 is the John Woo movie, and I expected that to be that was the one.
That's the thing with the motorcycle slide, right?
And that was the guy. The villain in that movie was supposed to play Wolverine and couldn't because he was filming that movie, which is interesting too. But what he's done with it is just turned these into the best spy movies that have been coming out in a long time.
How many have there been since then? What number are we on if they numbered them?
I think we're on
7 or 8. 7 or 8.
7.
One of those 2.
Yeah, I've seen like 3 of them. Not in order either.
Yeah. So, all right.
This one looks fantastic still. So
it does.
Can't wait.
Mike.
Okay, so again, I don't even know if this movie is going to come out, and I could 100% hate this, but I anticipate it because I'm interested in the IP, and it's been a while since something good has happened with it. This is I think this is the Seth Rogen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. It's supposed to come out this year.
It is supposed to come out this year, and I forgot that one actually.
Yeah. Mutant Mayhem, I think, is the title.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like Sausage Party worries me, like stuff like that. Like I don't know what Seth Rogen knows, but he's just a little older than me, so he's right in the wheelhouse for someone who should have grown up with the Ninja Turtles, and I hope he gets it. I hope he gets it. So
I hope he gets it for you too, Mike.
So we'll see.
I'm assuming he might show up again on this list somewhere.
I hope he gets it for a lot of us here. But
yeah. We've obviously we're a few years removed now from the Bay Turtles ending after the second one, which
with the noses,
no one seemed. Yeah, it was not great, and obviously we're not going to get people in suits again, probably ever again. But
no,
hopefully this is good enough.
It'd be fun if they did a reunion, but we'll see. This is I'm looking forward to this. So all right, Tony.
Let's see, on number 3. It's Guardians of the Galaxy 3 as well, just because the first 2 are great. Finale, end of a trilogy. Just like we were talking about, probably not everybody going to make it out of this one. Not that I expect people to just die because it's the end of the trilogy or anything like that. But this core of characters is going to end in terms of being that cohesive group and stuff like that. And it's kind of sad to see because you obviously have like the Avengers, you have the Justice League, in DC and stuff like that. But Guardians kind of felt like that like more dysfunctional family of like it's like your family, but you're kind of like always at each other's throats kind of thing and stuff like that. And they had a really good dynamic. I thought all the actors and actresses really played off each other very well and stuff like that. So
do you think? I mean, who do you think goes? I mean, obviously, I think it's Drax.
Drax.
I think
he has to go.
Drax
Like,
goes.
Batista's already like talking shit about the MCU.
I think
he's definitely got to go. But then, like,
I think
Nebula.
Nebula, that's the one. I was trying to remember her name. That's who I think it goes as well. I'm running the same.
They're the loners.
Yep.
Like it's like
Christine, well, Nebula sort of just joined them more or less.
Yeah, but she's been around forever though.
Her
movie.
chapter's over. Yeah. She's redeemed herself.
But
it's not much
I
more
heard
story
other
with her, I don't
people.
think.
This would be a little more daring, I think. But a lot of people are theorizing that it'll be Rocket who also died.
No way.
I think that was too
I don't
obvious.
think so.
Like bait and
Rocket's too
switch.
popular.
Yeah.
Plus, I think just
Too cute.
from a business perspective, it's really easy to just continue going on with a small CGI character that you just need the voice actor for. And same thing with Groot. You only need Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Like, and we've already seen
Groot already died.
one.
Yeah,
Right, he already died in the first one, and you just
doesn't even matter.
So right, and I think they will give Star Lord his happy ending.
Yeah, I think with Gamora
or whatever like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
So.
Which Gamora?
New Gamora, the only one Gamora.
The
All right,
one,
cool.
the one Gamora that's left that's in the wind.
Yes. So, all right. My phone battery's dying now. Anyways, to continue the problems of technical difficulties. Yes, my number 2 for me was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It was
Oh, I forgot about that.
a real battle in my head as to what took number 1, and I can't
Which
wait
cartoon took number 1?
Yes, and I can't wait to explain why my number 1 is my number 1 because the second I thought about it, I smiled and I said, yes, this is why it is. But Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, what an incredible surprise the first one was, to the point where the anticipation of this movie is so built from that movie. I can't wait. I can't wait for this at all. Like it looks, I cannot wait for this.
No, that's my number 2 if we're doing numbers.
Yeah, this is my number 2.
If I remembered it, it would have been my like 3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Corey. Go ahead,
just-
Corey.
The reason it's my number 2 and it's not my number 1 is because I am a little worried with the amount of spider people that are in this movie, and if it's just going to be clogged and bogged down by cameo after cameo, and it's like, do you lose some of the heart that was at the center of this film or of the original film? So that's what worries me a little bit. But I'm holding out hopes that the core of what the first movie brought us and what this movie is going to tell us and what story is going to give us is there, and that they're not just going to just throw us like a whole bunch of stuff to make it bigger and greater than the other one, and it loses that heart that I felt like was at the center of the first film.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you on that one. I mean, the first one was fantastic. Came out of nowhere for me personally, just like, oh, whatever. Animated Spider-Man movie, that's cool. I'll watch it at some point. To like, wow, I'm excited to see this again. I will actually purchase.
Or give me more.
Yeah, give me more. Exactly. So I am just a little concerned that maybe, like you said, Maury, they dialed it a little bit too much to the other way.
Based on what I've seen so far, it seems a little much, but
right. And like that's the thing is like I'm trying not to watch any of the new trailers for it because I know I'm gonna watch it, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, there's no need.
I'm good now. Like I've got it. I'm ready. I'm ready to see it. I just. Yeah, I'm ready to see it. It's one of those movies I'm ready to see because it's gonna be so many like so many pop-in appearances. I'm good.
The thing is, since it's a bit different from like like a I don't know, Batverse or Superman verse or whatever, where it's like they'd be typically working together, and like they did in the first one. This seems to be like a few of them against the rest of them, which is kind of cool. I think it's more of a battle royale type of feeling where it's like, oh shit, like you got to do whatever and fight off 100 other Spider men and women. So
let's go.
Very interesting.
All right, Mike, number 2.
Number 1.
Or one.
What's the number 1? Yeah. My number 1 again. I could hate this movie, and I've anticipated it before.
All these movies
because it was delayed. No. It's just. It's Flash. It's just so much is riding on what this does, like everything, and James Gunn says it's the best superhero movie ever.
Yeah.
But no, it's just I'm so curious about what makes the cut, what doesn't, where they're going with it, and how this Flash can like carry his own movie. I don't know. It's just this is like the big turning point for whatever the DCU is going to be.
Yes.
And so this could be greater, total train wreck, or some mixture of both, which is what most of the DCU stuff ends up being anyway. But
Mike, you're going to the theaters to watch this, right?
Most likely.
Come on, DC fans, come on, commit.
Yeah, you need to commit, DC fans.
I don't. Yeah. Well, I've been down on going to movies lately just because it's hard.
It's when is this coming out?
June.
You got 6 more months, man. 6 more months to plan for it. Yeah, supposedly. So, all right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Number one.
No, I mean, I could understand.
Yeah, number one. Number one's like ultimately this movie as a kid. I was robbed of having.
Yeah, I know.
That movie. I want that Mario movie to be good.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so like I thought about it as a kid and like that Mario Brothers movie that we got and how gypped we were to not have a good Mario movie when he was so big for me as a figure as a kid. I just Nintendo was my life then, and I grew up on video games because of that. Mario's like the first impactful character besides Link, those two for me, and it's just like and Samus, give her props, but yeah, like but just like my thought was like, man, I got so excited from that trailer that I didn't expect. Just seeing all the fun references, and despite Chris Pratt as the voice, I still can't wait for this movie. Yeah, I mean Jack Black as Bowser sounded great, so I'm super excited for this movie. Like I
get Seth Rogen in this too.
Please don't let me down on this. Just be better than good. Don't be like it doesn't have to be the best movie. Yeah,
it needs to be great.
Okay, I don't want to go that high, but I'm like I hope it's great. Obviously, so that's my number one.
That's my number one.
No one. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, surprising. The thing is I looked at this list and it's like all the other things are known quantities, right?
Sure.
Like I could be down on a movie more than the other stuff, but they're all sequels. They're known quantities, actors, actresses, stuff like that. But this one, it's like to me, like it's gonna sound hyperbole, but like how people are looking at like Last of Us with video game to TV series adaptations. I'm looking at Super Mario as like the video game to like animated movie adaptation, where it's like this needs to be the benchmark, the new benchmark going forward.
There's this rising up movie video game adaptations, and it's like this could be that the top. This could be the summit. I don't want to go downhill after this, but I'm just
Mario,
saying.
He's the king of games. He deserves that to do that, right? Because I want these other just like Mario, like with whatever Mario Brothers or Mario 64 or whatever. It's like we need to do this. We need to copy this. We need to do this. These other companies need to look at me like we need our own Super Mario Brothers type movie that's going to be, heavily budgeted and successful and marketable to just again what we talked about in the past year or two, where it's like we need to expand the IP and just give them more content to immerse themselves in. So. Obviously cautiously optimistic, in terms of just, there's so many ways it could go wrong.
Yeah.
But based on that first trailer we got, I'm thinking it's going to be really special. They just showed off just a little snippet of the one Donkey Kong portion.
The Seth Rogen voice.
With the Seth Rogen voice. And we get a look at another power-up, which I think is really cool just because it's one of those things that, from Nintendo, like, they're not always the best when it comes to, like, being canon to themselves, where it's like, oh, this one power up, like the Tanuki suit, never appears for like 15 years until Super Mario 3D Land or something like that. Or it's like, who remembers that, and stuff. So it looks like a lot of attention is being paid just from the illumination side of things. Where it's like you could tell they're excited about working on this movie. It's not like just like, oh shit, we need to make a licensed, I don't know, Barbie or whatever kind of thing, and just get it out the door so we can make a paycheck. So
cool.
We'll see.
I think they got the right studio.
Absolutely.
That's the most important thing.
I think they did. All right, Corey.
My number one is Dune 2 or Part 2, I guess.
Yeah.
That's just
I can't argue with it.
The
Like,
cinematic masterpiece as far as
you can honestly slot any of my 4 in any
movie
spot.
making.
It's just
Yeah, no, they're great.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have Mario. I had written Mario down, but like I have a feeling it's gonna be the same. Like all these could have been good. Like Guardians 3, you know, Quantumania, I'm excited for. So it's like a lot of movies to get excited. There's way more movies to get excited about than I thought there was gonna be.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
But Dune Part 2, you know, because we already saw the first one, so
the conclusion. Yeah.
I want to see what the ending is. And I love the director, Denis Villeneuve or something. I can never say his name correctly, so I butcher it, but whatever. Everything he's touched has just been amazing. So
Cool.
visually,
So
auditorily,
yeah.
So
I really just hope it carries on. Like, because it's a part 2, and if they filmed it separately, it's just like, you know, obviously they should, but just capture the same vibe. So cool. Mike.
We already did my one.
Oh, we did.
I'm out.
Okay, I didn't know you were out. So okay, and that's our most anticipated, guys. So that is our movies and TV shows beefy episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this content. Once again, we're live streaming on Twitch Tuesday nights. We are on YouTube the following day. Subscribe to both channels to get the information, the latest and greatest from us. The Gamecast is coming up next for our anticipated, so stay tuned.